Matches Balone. Hey, what's up guys? Balone here, bringing you guys another DC Toy Box TV review. Today we're going to be looking at the Rock Candy Batgirl vinyl figure. Okay, so like always guys, before we get into the actual figure review, I do want to go over the packaging. As you can see, this is an open window box, and we do get to see a glimpse of the Batgirl figure inside. Up top we get a Rock Candy logo with vinyl collectible. Then on the bottom we do get a Batgirl logo. I gotta say that is a pretty cool logo. It is in this kind of glossy gold, so that's pretty awesome. On the side we do get this kind of shattered design where it's like matte black with glossy black, and then we do get this huge Batgirl logo right here. Again, the glossy gold looks really nice. In the back we do get a bigger image of the figure inside, as well as the rest of figures in this toy line. One thing I do want to point out is that comparing this to the Batman v Superman Wonder Woman packaging, the background, right, that makes up the border here, this is, for this figure, it is a more comic book collage type of background, whilst on the Batman v Superman one, it was pretty much just a solid color. So I think that's really cool that they kind of, stylized according to the medium that it's coming from. And something else I want to point out, that this is the classic Batgirl from the comic books. There is a modern Batgirl, just that the packaging does not say if it's classic or modern. Up top we get a Rock Candy logo with vinyl collectible once again. Collect all of the DC Comics Rock Candy figures. Across the bottom we get a Batgirl logo with a Warner Bros. Logo. In the corner we have a Funko logo as well as a DC Comics logo on the other corner. Then on the side, again continuing with this kind of shattered design of the matte black and the glossy black, we do have these bubbles with images of other figures in this toy line, as well as another DC Comics logo. Up top, again continuing with that shattered design and the matte black and glossy black, we do get once again a Rock Candy logo. And something that's really cool is kind of the outline of this logo is glossy, just like the Batgirl logo, so that is pretty cool. If you ever just, you get the packaging, you kind of reflect off the light. It is kind of cool how they did that. Vinyl collectible Batgirl logo, Funko logo, and another DC Comics logo. Then on the bottom we do get some manufacturing details, as well as a Funko logo, made in Vietnam, barcode, and then over here we do have some of Funko's social media contacts if you guys want to go follow them. But yeah, that is pretty much it guys. I'm gonna get Batgirl all of her packaging and then we can check her out. Okay guys, here we have classic Batgirl out of her packaging. Now, out of the box, these are two separate pieces. You're gonna get the figure as well as a base for her to stand on. This is really good because the design of her legs, without the base, she cannot stand. So I'm really happy that Funko did give us a stand base for her. It just helps her support it. So that's really good. It is just a clear plastic, so there is no design on it, but I really appreciate that they gave us this. Now, the figure itself looks really, really cool. This is a very stylized figure. This is not supposed to be, I guess, in a weird way, humanly accurate. This is more of a kind of cartoony take on these characters, but I really like the design they gave Batgirl. Similar to the Wonder Woman one, I do feel like she is in a very kind of sassy stand. So that is really cool. I definitely like this costume. This is the very costume that I was very first introduced to Batgirl. This is pretty much the same costume that she shows up in the anime series, so I really like this one. I also like that the colors are very, very bright. I think a lot of these comic book cartoon characters, a lot of these comic book, no. Okay, so here we have classic Batgirl out of her packaging. Now, before we get into the review, I do want to say this is a two-piece. So out of the box, you are going to get the figure as well as the stand. And without the stand, Batgirl doesn't, she can't stand up. It is pretty much the designs of her feet; they're too narrow. So I am glad that they give us a stand. This is just pretty much a solid plastic piece with some peg holes for her to, kind of lock into place. It's not stylized, but it's still fine. I really am glad that Funko gave us this. It really helps keep the figure standing up in a really secure base. So these figures are vinyl figures. They are very stylized. They're not supposed to be, humanly accurate, and I really like that about them. They almost kind of look like a cartoonish take on these characters. I really, they just look awesome. Just like the Wonder Woman rock candy figure, Batgirl is in this kind of like sassy stance, and I really like that. It looks awesome. I also love this costume. This is pretty much the costume I was first introduced to Batgirl. This is pretty much the costume she has when she starts off in the animated series. So this is really cool. I also love that the colors are super super bright. I think comic book characters they live in a very colorful world, and I think their costumes should be just as bright. So I really like that these are, this is a blue, a yellow. These are not, dark colors or muted colors or light colors. These are just standard colors that are very bright and they really pop at you. So I really like that. As far as the costume, it is just a solid piece. It's like almost a solid jumpsuit or spandex. There are no texture on it. There's no kind of sculpting lines. So yeah, I can't gripe against that. It is a pretty simple and straightforward costume that she is coming from. So I think that is fine. Like I said, the colors are just really good. They really pop out right now through the screen. I think the face looks awesome. I love the giant kind of eyepiece in her mask. We really get to see her eyes right there. So that looks really good. I also like how they sculpted her hair to come out of the mask. This looks really awesome. It's just really nicely designed overall. Um, there are a few gripes I have. Mainly the paint. I don't know if the camera could pick this up, but there are just a little bit of paint mishaps. Unfortunately, these are going to be mass produced, so they're not always going to be the best, painted on. But her suits just seems to have a lot of kind of like uh, almost like mushiness to it. There's like up here you kind of see some like fingerprints, and it's kind of hard to pick up the camera. It's not that big of a deal. It is just a little unfortunate because this is such a very nicely colored suit and there's not a lot of texture going on. You kind of pick up on some of these little smudges, if you will. Outside of that, there's not really any big complaints I have. I'm really impressed how they kind of hide these seam lines. Obviously, you could still notice them from different points, but I think overall they did a really good job of kind of making it seem just all one solid piece. So that looks really cool. Like I said, I really like her stance. I don't know why. It looks really awesome. She looks like a girl with attitude. Um, and once again, I love just how bright these colors are. They're just they're really cool. Of course, she has high heels. Um, but yeah, so for a little bit of a comparison, I do have the Batman v Superman Wonder Woman rock candy figure. So you can see right here. They are pretty much the same height, so there's not going to be a difference between them all. You can already see they're both stylized in this kind of same rock candy figure. They both have these very sassy poses to one another. But you can clearly see that because this is a movie costume, there are more details within her suit, whilst this is a more comic book costume, and so it's very more simplistic, straightforward, you know. Even though they do have like she has more details and she's a little more simple, I think they both still look really good. But right now that I have both of them in front of you guys, I do want to just show you how much her colors pop compared to Wonder Woman's. That yellow is really coming at you and just grabbing your attention, and the blue just continues to really push this color. Even the gray, you know, it's not a really bright color, but the fact that it's a light gray, it just, you know, overall, I really appreciate the colors of her, even though I really appreciate all the little details they were able to put in this figure. So it looks really cool. There's not much more I can say about this figure. You know, these are just vinyl figures that you're gonna collect, and you put them on your desk or you put them on your shelves, and they just look cool. In that sense, Batgirl really looks awesome. Uh, I just love everything about this figure. I really recommend it to all you Batgirl fans out there, all you, you know, general DC Comics fans, or just vinyl figure fans in general. This is a really cool piece and a really great addition to any of your collections. So, I also like the Batman Batgirl logo is yellow. You know, really helps differentiate her from Batman himself. But yeah, and right here we do get these kind of like backed designs on her boots, so it looks really cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, for this figure review. There's not much more I can say other than she looks really cool. Comment down below with any of you guys' thoughts and opinions. Tell me, guys, if you guys like this vinyl figure. Have you guys already been collecting rock candy? If you haven't, are you interested in it? Like the video, guys. Like it, dislike it if you didn't, and subscribe. And look forward to more. Thanks. Laters.